What's up, guys? It's your boy Jay. Welcome to Jay's World. So let's talk. You know how we do it. Oh, you know how we do it. So let's get into it, and welcome to another edition of Jay Topics. Okay, I'm sure you have already seen the thumbnail. You've seen the thumbnail, guys. So you know I am about to do a deep dive into the life and career of Beyonce. Well, I'll take that back. Not so much the life or career, well, sort of the career. It's actually concerning Beyonce and her branding, okay? So this is not an all-out deep dive, okay? I just want to kind of talk about Beyonce, the brand as we know it. Now, let's be very clear. Beyonce is absolutely one of this generation's greatest performers, okay? You know, we've had a lot of performers come through this earth, okay? We have Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, all of these legends, okay? So I really, in my honest opinion, I do put Beyonce in that category. She's like what, in her early 40s now? So Beyonce definitely qualifies to be considered an icon. Now, I think she's still a little young to be a legend yet, you know. To me, I don't consider a person a legend until they start hitting their 50s. But she's definitely an icon, okay? We all love Beyonce, okay? So this is not a Beyonce bashing video, okay? And I'm saying that right now as a little house cleaning to let all you Beyonce stans, all you Beehive people, all you whatever you claim to be for Beyonce, don't get down in my comment section with that bullshit. I'm just letting you know right now, because I ain't scared of none of y'all, okay? I'm grown, and if I say something that you don't like about Beyonce, oh well, get over it. Okay, so I just want to make sure that that is all clear, and I hope we are good with each other once I'm done with this video. All right, so let's get started. Beyonce, in my opinion, is in a very strange bubble. She's in a very strange bubble when it comes to her brand and how people perceive her. I mean, think about it. Beyonce just does not sell products. For some reason, Beyonce cannot sell products. Anything other than Beyonce coming out with new music, it fails. It fails. Now, before y'all get down in the comments and try to turn me up, what you mean? She's the queen bee. Oh, no, she didn't. What you talking about? Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to go all the way back to the year 2006 when Beyonce partnered with her sister Solange and her mom. They came out with a clothing line called House of Darion. House of Darion. I'll never forget that, guys. You know, this was inspired, I believe, by Beyonce's grandmother, which would be Tina Knowles' mom. You know, apparently she was, you know, known for sewing and making outfits and stuff. And I think that's where Beyonce's mom got her inspiration, because Beyonce's mom used to make all of those costumes for Destiny's Child. Now, were they the best costumes? I'm going to say no. But I mean, considering she being an amateur, pretty good, okay? And you guys, that clothing line did not do very well. As a matter of fact, it failed. It was a huge flop. And I would even dare say it was probably a little embarrassing for Beyonce. Y'all, no one bought those clothes. No one talked about them. You know, people were complaining that they were overpriced. And before you know it, they were in like TJ Maxx and a lot of other like discount stores. So no big deal. No one really said anything. We kind of moved on. I believe that same year, or maybe a year later, Beyonce had a fragrance come out. The fragrance was called Heat. Yeah, it was called Heat. And it was like in a lot of the high-end department stores. You know, I think it was in like, you know, Dillard's and Famous and Bar and whatever your high-end department store in your city, that it was there. Again, crickets. Nobody bought Heat from Beyonce. I mean, and let's be very clear. They rolled out the commercials. They rolled out the billboards. They rolled out everything. Nobody bought it. And then a little bit later after that, she had another perfume come out. It was called Rise. Once again, a lot of media rollout, a lot of commercials. It did not click. It did not click. Moving a little further, Beyonce came out with several movies during the early 2000s, okay? She came out with a movie called Carmen Hip Hop Opera. Do you guys remember that? That was that movie when MTV, the then relevant MTV, they were beginning to do, movies, make movies with all of their, a lot of their artists that had music videos on the channel. And I would have to say it did okay for Beyonce. It was kind of her debut, and she, and it was okay, but no one really talked about it. And then, of course, from there, she went on to the even bigger screen with Austin Powers. Who remembers Austin Powers, guys? It was Austin Powers Goldfinger. And I forget her character's name, but, she had the whole afro, and she played a singer in that. Now, the Austin Powers franchise, actually, guys, it did very well, okay? So I can't necessarily say that it was a failure, but no one was really necessarily, people just weren't talking about Beyonce. They were more or less talking about, the movie itself, because the movie was already successful. Well, the movie franchise was already successful at that point. Now, I will give Beyonce a little bit of credit, because in 2003, they put her in the movie called The Fighting Temptations, which is actually, guys, one of my favorite movies. I love that movie with Cuba Gooding Jr. I think Melba Moore was in it. It was just a great movie, great soundtrack. Beyonce sang on it, and that went okay. Again, they weren't necessarily talking about the standout performance of Beyonce. They were more or less talking about the movie itself and talking about the soundtrack. Okay, let me just ask you this. Do you see where I'm going with this? I don't know if you're beginning to connect the dots that I'm connecting here, but I'm just showing you a pattern of how, for some reason, the Beyonce effect, it just was not working for her. I honestly feel that in the early part of her career, like in the early 2000s, they were almost trying to Will Smith her, if you will. Remember how Will Smith successfully transferred from making hip hop and music and stuff onto like television shows and the big screen? I feel that that's what they were trying to do with Beyonce, and it just wasn't quite working. It wasn't catching on. So then in 2006, we move on to The Pink Panther, okay? Now that movie did not do very well. Once again, they tried to promo it up with using Beyonce. But now she did get a hit song out of that movie. I think it was called Check Up On It, nice little dance track, and that was okay. And after that, in 2008, we move on to Dreamgirls. Oh yeah. Now Dreamgirls, I would say was a little bit different. To me, in my opinion, that was almost the make or break thing for Beyonce. I don't know if you guys remember, but leading up to Dreamgirls, they used Beyonce and Jamie Foxx in all the promo. Now remember, guys, Jennifer Hudson was still pretty much an unknown during that time. I think she had just come off of winning American Idol, and she was doing some little stuff, but she wasn't a household name then. We just were not checking for Jennifer Hudson. It was all about Beyonce. I remember the interviews. I remember them interviewing Tina Knowles, and she was saying how this is going to be Beyonce's big movie breakout, okay? People were excited. That movie finally came out, and everything flipped. They weren't talking about Beyonce. They were actually talking about Jennifer Hudson. And I'm just going to be honest, guys. Jennifer Hudson was the better actress. Jennifer Hudson actually acted her ass off in that movie. And one small caveat, and it's not really small, but there was one small thing that they forgot. The Dreamgirls movie was about Effie. It was Effie's story, which was Jennifer Hudson's character. It was never about Dina. Beyonce played Dina. It was always and will forever be Effie's story. So it was just a big old wonk, 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 wonk. It really honestly was. And I'm not trying to be funny, guys. I'm just keeping it real. So we move on from there, and then we get to another movie called Cadillac Records. Now, I just recently learned that Cadillac Records was produced under Beyonce's production company. I forget the name of her production company, but yeah, she and Jay-Z, they actually have a production company. And Beyonce, she played Etta James in the movie. And I would have to say though, I felt that Beyonce's acting was pretty decent. It wasn't bad. It was not bad. But she did play Etta James. But the movie went nowhere. It went nowhere at the box office. People were not checking for it. People were not talking about Beyonce's performance. They just weren't, guys. They were not. And I'll be honest, now I was a little salty. Etta James wanted so badly to sing At Last during the inaugural of, our then President Barack Obama. But for some reason, I'm not blaming the Obamas. I'm not even blaming Beyonce. But for some reason, they did not allow Etta James to sing. And I thought that was just a huge, huge missed opportunity. And of course, Etta has passed on, so she will never know what it's like to sing in the White House. And I just feel, and this is just sidebar, I just feel when it comes to our elders and when it comes to history making progress for Black people in this country, they should be first in line for any and everything. Just saying, because they were all here before all of us, and they deserve that. Anyway, I'm done fussing. So, Cadillac Records did not go anywhere. So after that, we have the movie Obsessed. This movie, Obsessed, Beyonce played the wife of Idris Elba's character. It almost kind of reminded you of an old movie from back in the 70s called Play Misty for Me, where this crazy obsessed lady, she was after, the husband, and Beyonce was the long, loving, doting wife, and all of that. It was almost, I would dare to say, a little cliche as far as the plot, but it was called Obsessed. And this movie was actually, once again, produced by Beyonce's production company. Did not know that. But the movie it did kind of okay numbers, and it just kind of fizzled out. So after that, guys, you really didn't hear from Beyonce and the movie thing for a while. You just did not hear from her. And I'm not sure if Beyonce is just pretty much given up on acting in movies, or if she's given up on selling products. But there's something going on, again, with Beyonce and branding. It's just not clicking for her. And honestly, I don't even blame Beyonce. I'll be honest, I kind of blame a lot of her crazy obsessed fans. I'm not talking about the ones that are sane, like me and others. I'm talking about these old crazy, crazy fans. Because let's be honest, Beyonce has some old cuckoo ass, Lulu ass fans out there that will not allow this girl to grow. I remember when Beyonce had her documentary called Life is But a Dream, or Merrily, something like that. I forget the name of it. But anyway, but she had her documentary. And I remember Beyonce was explaining in that documentary how she wanted to do Broadway. And, she wanted to do some other things. So Beyonce has actually expressed over and over again that she wants to do other things. And I really feel that she does. I think Beyonce would be great doing Broadway. I think she would be great doing anything concerning production. But her crazy, cuckoo ass, lunatic, fringed ass fans won't let her. They will not let that girl out of that bubble that they have kept her in all of these years. And it's really, really sad, because Beyonce is a very, very talented woman. And she's capable of many, many things. So I don't know. Now, you think about someone like Rihanna. Okay, she's a classic example of an artist that can definitely flip from music to selling products to acting. Why is it that Beyonce can't do the same thing? And Beyonce has way bigger numbers in terms of her music over Rihanna, But for some reason, y'all, she's in that perfect, pristine bubble that her fans, in my opinion, her cuckoo fans, won't let her out of. It's really weird. And also, I feel that Beyonce, she's very private. You know, again, she does not do social media of any kind. She rarely does interviews. So I don't think that necessarily helps her. I think people also just kind of put her on this pedestal, like she's almost like an angel, or she's almost godlike, where they don't really understand that this girl is human and she wants to do more things. So I don't know. I know, look, this is a very long video, longer than I normally produce. And I could just go on and on about this subject. But guys, let me know, what do you think it is about Beyonce? Why can't she? And look, let's have a real conversation. Again, don't get down in my comments with that bullshit, because this is not about bashing Beyonce. This is about having a real conversation. I'm gonna have some real dialogue. And all of Beyonce's real fans, the ones that got some damn sense, y'all get down in that comment section and let's have a real conversation. I would love to know what you guys think. I don't know. It's just crazy. Disappointing and a little sad. But look, Beyonce, she's still rich, you know, she's still beautiful. And yeah, so she's gonna be okay. But I am curious about that particular aspect of her career. All right, guys, that's it. That's all I got. Please don't forget to rate, comment, and do what? Subscribe. You guys, please subscribe to my channel, all right? And after you subscribe, please don't forget to head on over to Instagram and check me out at JaisWorldtv. That's JaisWorld.tv on Instagram. And I'll holler at you later. Peace.